a quick video on multiplying and dividing by powers of 10 when it comes to decimals. So just going to start by our basic little shortcut for multiplying by 10. If you take 1 times 10, you get 10. So notice all that did was added a 0 to 1. Alright, 2 times 10 is 20. Same thing, you take 2 and you add a 0 on. 3 times 10 is 30. Okay, 4 times 10 is 40, and so forth. Everything you multiply 10 by, all you're doing is simply adding a 0 to the end. Well, in more technical terms, what you're doing is you're taking 1, and remember that invisible decimal that's always after a whole number that we never really put there unless there's other numbers after the decimal, but we should always know that it's there. What we're doing is when we multiply by 10, we move the decimal once to the right. Okay, well when we do that, we have to fill it with a 0. So, say I multiplied 2 by 10, so I take my 2, I have my decimal, I move it to the right once, and I add my 0. Okay, so on a larger scale, I want to show you when you multiply by 10, okay, say I have 2,345.321. Okay, and all I want to do is multiply by 10. Well, I can multiply it all out like this, okay, which would take a while, or all I could do is simply move the decimal to the right, 1. So my new answer would look like this, 23,453.21. Okay, now what if I wanted to multiply it by 100, which is technically multiplying it by 10 and then by 10 again? Okay, well then all I have to do is move it one more time, so I have 234,532.1. So anytime you multiply by a power of 10, you move the decimal to the right. So let's try another one. Say I wanted to take 0.000231 and multiply it by 1,000. Well, 1,000, you got to figure out, is 10 times 10 times 10. It's 3 tenths. Okay? You also know that there's 3 zeros that you count. The amount of zeros is going to be the amount of times you move the decimal to the right. So if I start here and I go 1, 2, 3, there would be my answer. I would have 0.231. And you can drop all these other zeros. You just need 1 here before to show that there's nothing before the decimal. So, moral of the story, count how many zeros there are when you're multiplying by a power of 10, and that's how many times you move to the right instead of multiplying it all out. Now, same idea when we're dividing, but I bet you can guess what the opposite is. Say I had 643.839 and I wanted to divide by 10. Well, it has the opposite effect. Instead, if we were multiplying by 10, we'd move right. Well, now we're dividing, we're going to move left. Okay, so now I would have 64.3839. Alright. And again, if it's say by 1,000, so if I divided by, or 100, I divided by 10 again, I would move it once more. Okay? Now, let's try that again. If I take 0.02116 and I wanted to divide by 100, okay, same idea as earlier. I'm going to count how many zeros I have. I have 2. And because I'm dividing, I'm going to move left. Well, there's no number there. Well, anytime we have an empty space here, we're going to fill it with a 0. Okay, so now our answer would be, I'm going to fill a 0 in here too, 0.00021116. Okay, now I want you to multiply this by 1,000. Well, I'm multiplying, so remember I'm going to move right. Okay, and I have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So I'm going to start here and go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I'm going to have 0.2116. Okay, so this is just a little shortcut for you that will make your dividing and multiplying a lot easier when multiplying by powers of 10, so I hope you put this to use.